I want to show you all my thought process for solving this quadratic equation. The first thing that we need to do is factor it. We have a quadratic equation that's 6x squared plus 13x minus 28. So we'll start by looking at our area model. I know that I'm going to need 6x squared here. And I know that I'm going to need negative 28 here. And I also know that these two added together, my two x terms added together, are going to need to equal 13x. So I've got to know what I need to fit in there. This is kind of like solving a puzzle. So here's the process that I use for solving this. I'm going to take 6 and multiply it by 28. Well, negative 28. So negative 28 times 6. 6 times 8 is 48. That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So negative 168. So I want to find factors of negative 168 that add to 13. So we're trying to multiply to negative 168 and add to positive 13. So I need to think about some factors of 168 that could add to 13. So I start going through my factor list. 2 is probably going to be too small. 3 might also be too small. So let's just work through these. 168 divided by 2 is 84. I can't do anything with 2 and 84 to give me 13. So what about 168 divided by 3? That's 56. I still don't think I can do anything. I don't think those are close enough, 3 and 56, to give me 13. So what about 4? That's 42. I still don't think 4 and 42 are close enough. We want to find some numbers that are close enough to each other that we can get 13 out of them. I noticed that 168 is divisible by 8, and I get 21. So let's write down 21 and 8. The reason that these are important is because 21 minus 8 is 13. So that's kind of what I'm looking for there. So 21 and 8. I need to get positive 13, so I need my 8 to be negative. So now that we have that information, so now I know I'm going to need an 8x in one of these places and 21x in the other. So now how can we multiply to these things? Well, 6x, I could use 6 and 1, or I can use 2 and 3. I'm going to choose to put my 2x here because 6 and 8 are both divisible by 2. And I'm going to choose to put my 3x here because 6 and 21 are both divisible by 3. Now I need to get to 28. Well, what do we know about 28? 28 has factors of 7 and 4. I need it to be negative, and notice I have my negatives here. So how are we going to multiply? Where are we going to put 7 and 4? Well, I know that 3 times 7 is 21, so my 7 will go up here, and I know that 2 times 4 is 8, and I need this to be negative. So I get the factors, 3x minus 4 and 2x plus 7. When we FOIL that out, we get 3x times 2x is 6x squared. 3x times 7x is positive 21x. 4x times 2x is 8x, and that's negative, and then minus 28. So when I combine these, I get what I started with, 6x squared plus 13x minus 28. I want to talk a little bit about what it means to solve a quadratic equation as well. When we solve a quadratic equation, we are looking for the root or the x-intercept. So we're looking for the values of x when y is equal to 0. So when y equals 0, we want to know what is x. So we get 3x minus 4 and 2x plus 7. And we set these both equal to 0. So when is 3x minus 4 equal to 0? What's the value of x? And what's the value of x when 2x plus 7 equals 0? Well, these are two-step equations, so we add 4 and divide by 3. X equals 4/3. And we subtract 7 and divide by 2, so x equals negative 7/2. And those are the roots of a quadratic equation. So that's my thought process for how to solve a quadratic equation where a is not equal to 1, and these three terms did not have a common factor.